today here.
It's your podcast.
Today we're here with Nate and Marshall from the Gaffer District. Thanks for coming in, guys. Look forward to chatting with you a little bit.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah. I guess to start off, can you just tell us a little bit about what the Gaffer District is? Because a lot of people hear about it, but they might not necessarily know.
Sure. Well, the Gaffer District, it's a destination marketing organization. So our job is really to explain to people and show people what it is that makes Corning so special in the downtown district in Corning. So that's festivals and events, it's marketing promotions, it's, some upkeep and beautification projects, a whole bunch of different things in there. The district itself is a downtown area, about 1 square mile in downtown Corning. You got both sides of the river included. And then there's also the promotions, festivals, and all of the other marketing pieces that we do.
And what can you tell us a little bit about some of those promotional pieces, those events that you do? I guess we don't want, we don't need specific dates or anything, but just kind of give us an idea of what some of those things are that you put together.
Sure. So going around the calendar in a typical year, Cabin Fever, which is an event between local businesses and local, I don't want to say wineries, I want to say, wineries, breweries,
craft beverages,
craft beverages, yep, liquor makers, everything, even some, I've got a couple mead wineries that are that would like to come this year. So that's a ticketed event that we do throughout the downtown, and it's really a good way to spice up the early part of the year when everything's kind of, drab. And then we roll right into Glass Fest, which is our fine art show, as well as just like a celebration over the whole weekend with a ton of entertainment, big concerts over in the park, fireworks, over 100+ vendors out here. And then we go into, I guess I can't really say summer, right?
Well, the summer season, our biggest thing during the summer is the weekly farmers market every Thursday in the park. And then we have some other, smaller one-off events here and there. And
then Harvest Fest in the fall, which is, pumpkins and everything that you can imagine fall. It's great. Ton of vendors, music, entertainment, ton of different stuff going on. And then we get into our holiday events, which are the Parade of Lights and Sparkle. Then we have Santa House going on the whole time too. We have horse and carriage rides throughout the winter. So just a lot going on throughout the whole year for everybody, from families to anything. There's something that we can keep you entertained with down here.
And they're big events. They're, as you mentioned, kind of multiple day events, especially Harvest and Glass Fest, right? And
yeah, we're talking 2-3 day events, tens of thousands of people. So it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a little juggling right there. Well, and you have music. That seems to be a key element. And Marshall, I know you have a background in music. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what it's like to get acts like you've gotten recently here?
Yeah, I've worked in the music industry for probably a decade or so.
Started when he was 7.
I wish I was that young. I need to figure out how to roll back the clock.
Nice compliment.
Well, I'm an old man.
So, yeah, I've worked in the music industry for about a decade, and I thought when I started here that it would be a really good way to expand Glass Fest, is bringing in national acts. So the last 2 years we had Fuel in 2023, Everclear in 2024. It's a struggle, to be honest. It's not as easy as it once was because, if you know anything about the music industry, you've heard about Live Nation and what they have done to the market. It's not great, but it really does create a really great sense of satisfaction to be able to pull that off as a small organization in Corning, New York, to be able to book a band like that, execute it, and get them to come back again. It makes it so much more better than doing it for, something like that. So it's been great. It's awesome to have those kind of things here.
That drew in a ton of people too, correct? Best attendance record.
Oh, it was definitely the highest that I've seen in my time here, and one of the highest in the 15 years at Glass Fest. So.
Yeah, I want to say probably like 4,500 people in the park on Friday night for that show.
Yeah. It's
So yeah, and in the other part, I think forgot to mention in all of that, all of our events besides Cabin Fever are all completely free.
Right.
Free to attend, free to everything. Even those concerts that I'm talking about, free to attend in the park.
Right.
So, great way to come out and engage with the community.
Well, I think a cool aspect of all the events too is you guys shut down Market Street, so you can just wander up and down the street, go to all the shops, look at the vendors. I mean, it's very community focused and not segmented. It's all connected. It's cool vibe, really cool vibe. Yeah,
and then we do that when we do events over on the other side of the river. We do a similar thing either on Bridge Street or in some of the facilities over there. We just did a 3-on-3 Gus Macker basketball tournament this past summer, and that was awesome. Had a ton of people over on the north side for the whole weekend.
Yeah,
that looked like fun.
It was great.
Yeah, and when I say the word
basketball for the life of me,
I used to play, but I looked at that.
Okay,
Dave, that's not happening.
Okay. Well, that was way back when we'll put in a senior division
legs
for
we used to throw.
Still peach crates.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, and I should say too, when I say the word vendors, Craig just made me think of that, but I also mean businesses within our district as well. Yeah. There's so many great businesses to feature and stuff like that come out and participate in our events, and such great products for everybody to look at. So when you come to our events, it's not just the vendors on the street, it's the stores behind them too. Right. So, when you factor that in, there's hundreds and hundreds of
restaurants and
lots of good food.
Yeah. There's 100 different ways that you can engage with different things in the district within an event. So, you can come twice and not do the same thing.
Right. And I mean, like Craig mentioned, the couple of events that are when Market Street is shut down, so to speak, it gives people an opportunity to move around, I mean, instead of, just parking one spot, going in, going out, they get an opportunity to actually explore a little bit, move around, and to, like you said, engage with the shops as well as the vendors that are on the street. What's the most difficult part? I guess that's probably not even a fair question to ask, but what's the most difficult part? We will just censor this part out.
What don't you like to do?
Yeah. Beep. I think that, with the number of vendors we've got, because our numbers are just growing every year with how many people we have that want to set up at these events because of the crowds that we get, because of the entertainment that we're bringing in. The logistics are a little bit tough. You got to figure out, okay, how do 10,000 people move around this area? How do people come and go from the concerts, parking, street closures, all those different pieces you have to balance, and how people move around, and balancing all of that with, hey, do I have emergency vehicle access maintained? Do I have all those other, little pieces that the people at the event never see or never think about?
Yeah, and I think that's
logistics of it.
Yeah.
And that's something that people take for granted, you know what I mean? But that's why it's like when you pull off an event like that, there are so many moving parts. Plus, I mean, it's not like you can just say, yeah, we want to have this and it's going to happen. You've got to run it through the proper channels.
Right,
and, you got to get certain people
permits,
to say yes.
Right, yeah.
Right.
All
It's
that
a lot of
fun
work.
Stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why we're behind the microphone.
Yeah.
Let them take care of it. Yeah. And they do a great job.
We'll attend, but
We'll cheer you on. Sometimes too, if folks get to come, they'll get an opportunity to interact with you guys. I think that's part of it too, is, good personalities, and you are very engaging and like to joke around a little bit, but, have fun, but you're serious about what you do.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to have a good sense of humor doing what we do, because it's long days, it's long hours. And, but we love having interactions with the public. We love people that come out and volunteer for the events. It's always so much fun to get to know everybody.
And no matter what anybody tells you or what you see yourself, no event has took place on the face of this planet that's been 100% correct.
Oh, no, yeah.
So you have to have a good attitude. You have to roll the punches. You have to, take it with a light heart, because it's all just varying degrees of what goes wrong.
Right. Just minimize that.
Yeah, it's just it's how little you can keep it.
Right.
But no, it's the reward is seeing everybody engage with it and not think about those things where, like, they're walking down the street and they're like, I don't know, man, everything looks perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there's like 16 things on fire out back. But like,
as long as you don't see them,
as long as you guys, that's cool. That's cool, man.
No, the people behind the curtain always see all the mistakes. The front-facing public usually doesn't, right?
No,
they see this great festival, and you guys are like, man, I could have done better.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's the nature of the beast with this type of work. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good thing, though, because then you're always trying to get better at it, and you're, as you mentioned, just in the last couple of years, you've, really augmented the number of vendors, the kind of vendors, the music, instead of just, maybe having so many acts. Now you've got them staged in different areas, so there's always something happening. And that's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we've been, since Marshall came in a couple of years ago and I started, we've been trying to really make sure our events are unique and different. So Harvest has a different feel than Glassfest. Might be the same footprint, but we want you to have a very different experience at each event too, and really trying to dial that in.
That's awesome.
As for the Gaffer District too, like how many businesses and restaurants and stuff do you guys have?
Oh man. All right. So businesses, I believe every business in the downtown, I think we're over 200. I'm not sure the exact number at the moment, but we have tons of different restaurants. Pretty much if there's a kind of food that you want, we probably got somebody that does it in the downtown. We have, multiple breweries. We have, casual to go, we have fine dining, all of that, all in the downtown. It's a great mix.
Shameless plug. If you're looking for more information, go to gafferdistrict.com.
Nice job. Nice job. That was good. The, going back to also, Craig used the word community. And I think, again, people might take it for granted, but the Gaffer District is at the heart of the community, and the community is at the heart of what you do. Can you kind of talk about the relationship that you have with the local community and kind of, again, maybe how that influences the things you do put together?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the mission statement of the Gaffer District, right? We want to create community character. That's one of our kind of core pieces. And so when we look at what we do, we want to make sure that it's accessible, that it's not, something where you got to buy tickets all the time to get in. We have one event, like we said, where you buy tickets, but for the most part, we want it to be open to the public. We want something for everybody, stuff for kids, stuff for adults. We look at like the farmers market. You want to talk about community. We see the same people come through every week at that market, shop at the same vendors every week. Those vendors that have been here, some of them 20 plus years, coming to that market. And it's a great feeling to be out there, and we're doing, SNAP and EBT benefits now so that we can make sure that everyone in our community is able to come and participate in that market and get some good food to take home.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's kind of the other side of the coin of what we were just talking about. I'll have people come up to me and they're like, well, why don't you just light stuff on fire? Like, that'd be cool. And it's like, well, we can't do that. And obviously I'm being hyperbolic, but people, they're like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And that's where it has to be, well, we have to go through these rules and regulations. We have to do this. And it's the thesis of everything we're doing is to build events for the community. And that's what my goal is to, try to curate what everybody wants to see. It's just not always as easy because there are those permits, those regulations to go through. So trying to thread the needle for everybody as well as the permits and everything is definitely, also challenging, but that's where the reward comes in as well. So,
well, and you got to go through that process and check off all those boxes because you want a safe event, because if your event's not safe, if it's not done well, then no one's going to come back next year anyways, regardless of, what you did or how cool the 1 year was. We want events that happen year after year, are sustaining and bring, business and visitors into the downtown.
Well, and ultimately we all have people we have to answer to. And I mean, it's not as easy as just saying, yeah, we're going to make it happen. I mean, we're going to make it happen as best we can, but we still have to follow the protocols and the rules that are put down for everybody. So,
exactly.
Yeah. So, which again is kind of rewarding when you do all those things and then pull it off into something special.
For sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a little different direction on this. And are you guys both from Corning or not?
No, I'm out of Rochester originally and came down a couple of years ago.
So what drew you here?
Welcome
then?
to the area.
Yes.
Thank you.
Belated.
Why did you choose Corning?
So really
have a career in.
So for me, it was about the role here, and it was I lived in the Southern Tier before, for a brief stint, but it's a beautiful area. I love being outside, and the outdoor opportunities that you've got in this area are just incredible. But for me,
sorry, Rochester.
Yeah, I love Rochester too. I love Rochester too, but it's flat. It's a lot more flat than it is down here. But coming down here, I'd done, like Marshall did all music events, previously. I'd done all endurance events, marathons, 5Ks, all that sort of stuff. So this was a new opportunity for me to really, again, branch out coming into the role here. And again, a perk of living somewhere where there's some great, outdoor activities, hiking, boating, all that sort of stuff.
And it's very accessible,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Our endurance activities are usually our staff meetings. So. I'm just kidding. Did I say that out loud? Oh, no. I'm in trouble.
No comment.
I was gonna say Kevin listens before it goes out, right? Yeah.
We'll edit some of that. How about you?
I am in Elmiron, so right down the road. I think kind of the same thing that Nate said. It's about the organization. It's about the job. It's about doing something for a community. It's doing something because that's what the community wants, or it's the right thing to do, not necessarily because it makes the most money, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So being able to shift from that to this has been like really rewarding for me, and to build a sense of community in a community that's close to my home has been like really, really great and really rewarding. So
that's awesome. And I mean, you're both parents, right?
Yeah.
Young parents.
Mm-hmm.
So how's it, when you're approaching the events that you're doing now, if you have kids that you can take to those events and give them to experience it, what's it like from that perspective?
I mean, I think it's a blast. I mean, my kid's only, 16 months old, so he gets to walk around with me while I look at stuff when they're at the events, but he doesn't know what's going on yet. So I'm looking forward to when he's old enough to really appreciate what's going on in the event and to see all that. You
get just an opportunity to take him around and kind of.
Yeah, I'll sometimes I'll have him with me for a couple hours. My wife will, come by, and while she goes out and enjoys the event, he'll walk around with me and do all the behind the scenes stuff. But it's fun to get that different experience. So.
It's a different perspective too, because I have a couple young children, and a lot of people don't tend to see the things you can do with kids. Mm-hmm. Like they're like, oh, this isn't kid friendly. This isn't. But there are so many things that are kid friendly and at these events, and entertainment aspects that my kids love coming to them and stuff. So cheers to you guys for doing a good job, because I look for things for kids more than I do myself anymore. Right. So
yeah. Well, and we really, try to be intentional about that, partnering with the Y to come over and do activities, or to, have face painting or other groups coming and doing those types of things. I mean, we really want that balance, that there is something to do for, for the kids and for the parents, because we want everyone to have a good time when they're in town.
Yeah, I have a 9-year-old daughter, so I will for sure know if we're not hitting the 9-year-old daughter demographic.
Right. She'll tell you.
She will totally tell me. But no, it's cool. I mean, you see it on a wide sweeping notion of people enjoying the event. But to get actual feedback, my family will tell me, they're like, this kind of sucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they'll be frank with me. So it's great to have that and know that, when you do hit the mark, you hear it. So yeah, it's great. And just watching her be a kid and enjoy it, and being amazed. She's like, you put on a parade? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, what?
That was just a Tuesday. That was just a Tuesday at work.
Yeah. I'm like, it's just my job. She's like, that's cool.
I always joke I got the best collection of random cell phone numbers in my phone. Like I've got 3 different Santas and all that sort of stuff. So.
That's a good Rolodex to have, right? Yeah. That's awesome. And just seeing the kids appreciate something kind of gives you a little, probably just even if it's a silent, recognition
validation.
That's awesome. I'm using the word awesome today a lot. So
that's because you're awesome, Dave.
Well, thanks. Thank you. I thought I was groovy. No.
Both.
Well, have you, do you guys get the opportunity to come up with ideas for new events and stuff and pitch them to your kind of team? Or is it just kind of set, like we're just doing these same ones every year?
No, I mean, I think that's one of the great things about our organization is we have a really collaborative approach to everything internally. I mean, so the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, that's been Marshall's brainchild, that he, had done Gus Macker's participated in them in the past and brought them in. And I mean, we've done a bunch of new stuff in the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, I think that's the biggest key, I think, to events is it looks so similar to last year, but 10% of it's different. And if you just keep filtering that 10% and just tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, you're changing the event over without it looking new year over year. So no, the creative process is awesome. People come to me with ideas on our staff too, and they're like, hey, can we do this? And it's like, I mean, let me think about it for 20 minutes, but yeah, I think we can. So it's great. It's awesome. And to see those things come to life is really great.
Well, and that's something, we do a lot of events. We also work with a lot of outside groups that bring events in. So the Pride Festival in town, that's one that's happened, since 2019 was their first year. And that's been a great outside group to watch them be the impetus of bringing something new and exciting into our town that really, has found a niche and is really popular and growing every year.
Yeah, so you help them facilitate something.
Yeah, we help them through all those logistics and permits and all that other stuff that we have the expertise on.
Yeah. Is there any event that you've envisioned that hasn't happened yet that you're hoping to bring about?
There's a list. It's like a mile long. We just
They're keeping that secret until it actually comes to fruition.
Yeah, I can't tease anything until we can get those approvals in place.
Well, one of my personal efforts is trying to bring Groovy back. So, we appreciate you guys being groovy because you always are. And, appreciate you being on the show with us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you guys for being groovy right back.
Yeah. Everybody stay groovy.